you can actually have the strongest, most healthy body you have ever had after children. Now, when I first had my son, I actively avoided mirrors. My body did not feel like my own. I felt disjointed, I felt loose, I felt weak, and honestly, I was embarrassed. I didn't grow up with a very healthy view of my body, and I worked so hard to get my mind in a healthy space where food wasn't something to deserve and exercise was a way to take care of myself, not beat my body into submission. And I had to fight my mind all over again and change my thought pattern after I had a baby. I became so fixated on bouncing back immediately, having my old body back, that 2 weeks after a C-section, I went for hill sprints. And not only did that set my recovery back, but it ended up causing me this intense back pain because my pelvic floor was not healed, nor was it in any sort of way ready for that kind of activity. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the very first step to rebuilding your body after birth so that you can feel confident, strong, and have a better life. As a certified personal trainer, yoga instructor, and lactation consultant, I've spent the last 5 years helping women feel stronger and more confident after birth. I've also gone through 3 emergency C-sections myself, and I've made mistakes in my healing, and I've figured out the missing pieces to getting a strong body after baby. And honestly, after 3 children, my body right now is the fittest and strongest I've ever been. Now, the very first part of postpartum healing is strengthening your pelvic floor and healing diastasis recti. For most of us, this can begin just a few days after birth. It's low impact, it's gentle, and it supports the rest that your body desperately needs to heal. Now let's start with understanding what happens to your pelvic floor and core during pregnancy. So these are your hip bones. Now if we're looking at your skeleton, you'll notice a big gap. It's hollow. But what's actually here is your pelvic floor muscles. The first muscle is the puborectalis. This muscle starts at your pubis, which is your pubic bone, and it wraps around your rectum. This controls the anal sphincter. Then you have the pubococcygeal muscle. This one always trips me up. It's larger, it's more powerful, it controls urinary flow. And then you have the iliococcygeal muscle, which this flexes the coccyx, which helps support your weight and keep you balanced, especially when you're sitting. So altogether, they're called the levator ani muscles. And these 3 muscles are right at the base of the pelvis. They control urine, ejaculation, bowels. It supports your uterus. It keeps your organs supported. And it helps with posture, amongst many other things that it does. As your baby grows and you grow a whole new organ during pregnancy, the pressure that's put on these 3 muscles is a lot. You're adding a good 15 or more pounds to be carried by these 3 muscles. And that's not all. Your ovaries and your placenta also boost a special hormone called relaxin. Relaxin helps the ligaments relax so that they can stretch and grow. And this is incredibly important for making space for your growing baby and for the cervix and vagina to stretch during birth. But now our pelvic floor is also getting this relaxin, and it is stretching. So much so that it's quite common for women to experience prolapse after birth. Now your core muscles are also separating, and the ligament that's holding it all together, giving us stability, is also benefiting from relaxin, and it's being stretched to make space for our bellies to grow out. Now when we have our baby, it doesn't just come back together. We have to do specific breathing and core exercises to heal this. And I'm not talking about crunches, I'm not talking about planks, I'm talking about something else. So why do we want to pull our core muscles back together and strengthen our pelvic floor? Sure, there is the aesthetic benefit of it, right? One of the most Googled terms when it comes to postpartum fitness is lose the mummy tummy. But there's also the quality of life that a strong core and a strong pelvic floor bring. When you sneeze and laugh or cough and you pee yourself, that disrupts your quality of life. When you can't jump on the trampoline with your kids, and then when holding them hurts your back, all of this is because of weak core, weak pelvic floor. And it's absolutely normal to have this after birth. I remember driving home with my husband, and I got out of the car, I suddenly had this massive urge to pee. And I fumbled with the keys, and I unlocked the door, and I ran through the kitchen, and I could just feel this line coming down my leg. And I stopped in the middle of the room, and I just squeezed my legs as tight as I could, and I was like, stop, 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 stop. And I just peed all down my legs because I couldn't control myself. I felt so humiliated because I just completely lost control of my body. That is because of a weak pelvic floor, which gets worse if you just jump into running and hill sprints and ab exercises right after birth, which I did not know first time around. So that's why I'm making this for you. When we strengthen these muscles, the pain is gone. We don't have these humiliating accidents where we pee our pants as grown adults in the middle of a room. And you can hold your baby, you can chase your kids, you can jump and run and feel confident, strong, and capable. And your body just feels like it's your body again. And it's a stronger body. And also, intimate time's a lot more enjoyable when you have a strong pelvic floor. So how do we start? What exercises do you do to begin healing? Well, I've made a step-by-step workout series to help you heal your core, strengthen your pelvic floor, and give you a stronger body after baby. So check out this next video where I'll tell you exactly what to do to go from this to this in 10 minutes a day. Hope it helps. Love ya. See you, pizza.